Howdy everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome to Breaking the Ice with your host, me, Punkwaddle. Well, as your friendly neighborhood puppet penguin sheriff, sometimes I gotta report on things that, well, they're not my favorite, and sometimes I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta tell the truth, no matter how hard it may hurt or affect the people around you, right? So, if you guys have been following along at home, you know that our good old friends, the Muppets, right? Kermit, Miss Piggy, Gonzo, and the like. They've been having a bit of a rough go, right? There's a whole, the Muppets experience at Disney Park because, they got shut down, and even though they're getting to cruise on into the new year, taking over the rock and roller coaster in 2026, right? It's looking a little bleak, and well, as tangible as that one is, today I want to cover something a little bit more, something that a little birdie's been talking about over on the World Wide Web, and that's the as you may have heard, as rumor has it, that it sounds like Seth Rogen, the guy who brought you Pineapple Express, the guy from Freaks and Geeks, the stoner movies that people stopped caring about. Right, that guy is apparently rumored to be getting a chance to have a crack at the old Muppet, TV show. And when I say rumor has it, I mean it like the way Adele used it in the song, because I think it has more meaning. Yeah. But the thing is, to me, and I think a lot of my other puppets and Muppet friends and friends of Muppet friends out there, I think there's a little bit of concern that if there's any truth to this, it's not looking good for our good buddies over there. And for all the times that we've seen Kermit a little concerned or thinking the future is bleak, now's definitely the time, right? Because I'll be honest, I haven't really been that excited about much of the Muppet production since around the 2011 movie with Jason Segel, right? Right, and you're thinking, Punk, well, Jason, worked with Seth back in the day on Freaks and Geeks, so, can it be that terrible? Yes, it can. Because here's the thing. I think that Jason probably had the best, family-friendly, maybe like evergreen career, if you will. It was network-friendly, family-friendly, a little edgy, with the tenure on How I Met Your Mother, but honestly, I could forget about Sarah Marshall and say that, I think that Jason is a stand-up guy, and I respect his humor, and I enjoy the banter, and one of the things he said back when he did that 2011 Muppets is that he set aside the crass humor for the witty tongue-in-cheek banter like the Muppets are always known for, right? But the thing about Seth is that he's not known for that sort of humor, and he while the boys on Amazon and some of the other franchises that he's been a part of are gritty and edgy and very adult content, right? I just don't know if the way that Seth has gotten to these days is really going to translate well to what the Muppets has stood for over so many years. Because even if you go back and look at the Muppet TV show that they tried to pull out in the 2014, 15-ish, it kind of fell off the radar for a lot of people because they tried to do that sort of The Office sort of kind of mockumentary style, which was great for that sort of awkward humor for people and adults, but didn't really work for the Muppets, right? And so my concern is that I don't really want to see, something that resembles the Happy Time Murders for the actual Muppets, or stoner humor, like they're getting the episode about somebody hotboxing the ventilation and all the Muppets are baked or half baked, if you will, right? I'm not interested in that sort of scenario per se, when the Muppets and their lineage and their legacy has so much to offer and so much clever witticisms and double entendres, being able to be funny for adults and funny for kids. And, well, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think this is anything substantial? Do you think it's just a rumor that somebody put out there to see if the algorithm would pick up? And, I'm just chasing it and, just chasing that high, if you will. Alright, that was a terrible pun. I apologize. Right? And the truth is, once again, as your puppet penguin, neighborhood... Yeah, your friendly neighborhood puppet penguin sheriff. I mean, I can't even say that twice fast, right? So, I don't really want to have to be on call to clean up the mess of somebody mishandling some of, our good friends and inspiration for, why some of us puppets decided to start showing our face and getting into the game too, right? Because, we all gotta have heroes, and I don't know about you, but if you've been watching some of your favorite IPs and franchise and heroes fall from grace, us cotton, folk, cotton felt and whatever we're made of, right? Lots of glue sniffing. We don't want to see our best friends and heroes, fall from grace too. Even though, a lot of us Muppets and puppets are pretty short, right? It's not like we're falling from too great of a height, and since we are made a lot of cotton and foam, we don't actually get hurt too bad, but it's the emotional damage that I'm concerned about, right? So, yeah. Well, like I said, that's a rumor, and I hope it's wrong, because I'd rather preserve the legacy than, again, see it torn down. But we've definitely been seeing the Muppets being torn down figuratively, emotionally, and physically this year, so I guess the sky is no longer the limit. Let's see what he did there. Well, I'd love to hear what you guys think, down in the comments about the Muppets, about Seth Rogen, about, the humor and the state of what us puppets are all about, right? So, but once again, it's only a rumor, so we'll see what happens. So, till next time, we'll see you later. Bye!